What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Quick question. Let me ask y'all something real quick. Do you like scary stories? Well, I have one for you right here. This is 3 true disturbing quarantine stories, volume 2. This is by Mr. Nightmare. And yeah, hope you got your snacks and all that. Real quick, let me thank y'all for 11,000 subs, y'all. Y'all quick as hell. That's all I'm gonna say. God damn. Sheesh, man. But yo, I appreciate it. I really do. Also, thank all of those that bought the merch. You'll enjoy it. Don't worry. I added a special surprise in there for those that got the t-shirts, and you'll see when you get it. No worries. But yo, just once again, thank y'all, and get comfortable. Hopefully, this should be good. So without further ado, let's go.
I'm 24 years old, still living with my mom and dad, along with my 2 younger siblings. My parents bought a new house in March, just around the time coronavirus really started to be taken seriously around me, and quarantining started. So we were in the unpacking and settling in phase during all of this. My room is actually in the basement, which I don't mind. It's furthest away from my parents' room. It's technically just an extra room in the house, not really meant to be a bedroom, but we made it one. Plus, my parents figure I'm going to be moving out soon, so why give me one of the better rooms in the house? The basement in this house is huge. It's really cool, and I get to feel like it's kind of my own basement in a way because of my room. But right off the bat moving here, weird things would happen. Inside my room, mostly at night, I'd hear strange sounds inside the walls. I knocked on the wall, and it seemed to be hollow. There's a vent in the room. I thought maybe there was an animal in the vents. I used my iPhone flashlight to get a look inside, but I couldn't really see anything. Whatever, house noises, I figured. If it persisted, I would tell my dad to look into it. I set up my Xbox on the basement TV. In fact, I usually just chill in the basement instead of my room. I used the 50-inch TV my dad set up down there. One night on the first week in the house, I was playing Warzone on my Xbox when I heard this distinct sound come from the side of the basement where my room was. It was muffled by a wall, which led me to believe it came from my room. I went to quickly check inside my room, and it was empty. I hurried back to my game so that I wouldn't die, but to best describe the noise I heard, it sounded like a heavy glass object being placed on a table or something. I figured it probably came from upstairs. Literally the next night, I woke to some weird, muffled thumps. I couldn't tell if it was above my room or to the side of my room. I took my phone again and went to the air vents, but once again, even with the light, I couldn't see anything in there. I was starting to worry a small animal might be in the vents or living inside the walls. I brought it to my dad's attention, who told me to let him know if it persisted, and he told me to try to record the sounds if possible. So a few nights later, I woke up at 4 in the morning feeling extremely thirsty. My trusty bedside water bottle was empty that night, so I had to go upstairs to get a refill. On my way back downstairs from the kitchen after refilling the bottle, I stopped mid-staircase in the dark, thinking I heard something from the basement. "Andy?" I said very quietly, wondering if my brother was hiding down there. I whipped out my phone to use the flashlight again as I finished my descent down the stairs. I had a quick look around the basement just for peace of mind, and when I found it was clear, I went back to my room to hit the hay. As I placed my water bottle on the ledge above my bed, something in my gut told me to just look at that little vent in the wall one more time. So I shined the light in that direction, and even though it was only for like half a second, I knew what I saw. There was someone looking through the holes in the vent for just a brief moment. I saw their eyes clear as day, but they moved away just as the light revealed them. What did I do? You probably hope I ran to the vent to get a look inside and see who was in there. But no. Instead, I screamed like a girl as I ran all the way back upstairs, yelling for my dad like a child.
You're
The
24.
whole family came down the stairs to my room. I brought them to the vent in my room and shined the light in it again. My dad took a look. Of course, there was no one in sight now. I'm not even lying when I say my mom and dad told me the cliche I was seeing things because I hadn't gotten enough sleep and I was tired. didn't buy it. I wasn't sleeping there that night. I slept in the living room and locked the basement door that night. The basement door only has a lock on it because we have an outdoor entrance to the basement, so it serves as an extra small layer of security for break-ins, I guess. Well, the next day, when I went down to the basement, I made a shocking discovery. There was some kind of secret door in the wall that was left open. I immediately called my dad down, and we went inside of it together. There was a blanket on the floor of this little hidden room, along with a small wooden stool-like thing. And if you walk down this ever so tiny corridor, you'd come to the vent that peers into my room. This discovery would otherwise be cool if it didn't lead to the realization that someone has been living in this room, possibly raiding our kitchen, and possibly watching me in my room as I slept. I think
You had
the
you a
person living in
roommate.
the room heard the commotion I made the night before. They figured it was time to bail. I just still fear that they may come back.
Damn. Imagine that. Imagine seeing that in your room. Shooting
It's
through all
April
the walls.
2020 as I write this, stuck in quarantine. I live in a duplex house. It's one story, but it's divided into two sections. Each side has 2 bedrooms and a kitchen, with each having its own front door. Inside the house, there's a door separating the 2 sections, and it's locked by the other side. The landlord, Jose, lives on the other side, and he has the lock switch on his side of the door. Obviously, that's not exactly a situation I've been entirely comfortable with, so I took it upon myself to install some camera I bought on Amazon. It connects to my phone to alert me when motion is detected. I aimed it right at that door. But did I ever expect to actually get any kind of notification from that app? No. That's why when I got a notification about movement on the camera, I freaked out. I opened the app and saw in the very laggy, low frame rate video that the door connecting the 2 sides of the house was open. I was literally sitting in my car in a parking lot, heart racing, waiting. A few minutes later, I saw Jose walking through the doorway, and a few seconds later, shutting the door behind him. I was supposed to go shopping, but instead I raced home to check my apartment. But as far as I could tell, nothing was touched. I didn't know whether to confront him or see if it persisted, but the curiosity just ate away at me that night.
Some weird shit.
I knocked on his front door and told him about my camera, and that I knew he entered my apartment. He admitted it right away, but he had a reason. He said he smelt a burning smell that he thought was coming from my side of the house, and he knew I wasn't home, so he had to check if I left the oven on. Given that I couldn't find anything stolen, I had to just say, okay, thanks.
Would have put a chair under that door.
Realistically, it was a viable reason for him to come in, right? Still, that night while I was in bed, I wasn't happy about him just coming into my side of the house. I mean, that's against the law, isn't it? Given that we're both always home now makes the situation a little more tense. A few days later, I was up really late on a Zoom call with my friends when I got that dreaded notification on my phone that there was movement. I closed my laptop for like a second to go outside my room. All of my lights were off out there, obviously. It was like 3 a.m. I was in the living room, and I saw Jose standing in the corner.
Oh my
He
God.
had something in his hand that I couldn't see, but he was surely looking at me. I could only see him because the light from my bedroom came out to the living room slightly. He started walking to me like a zombie.
Oh hell no.
I told him to chill out as I backed away into my room. When I saw him still approaching me with this lifeless posture, I slammed the door shut and locked it.
I'ma spear you.
He started to pound on the door with some blunt object and tried the doorknob. I yelled at him to stop before I called the police. And just like that, he stopped. And a few seconds later, I heard the door separating the apartment slam shut. I peeped into the outside. He appeared to be gone. I got the police on the phone and had them come to the house. We got Jose to come to my side of the house. He claimed he didn't remember a thing, and as the 4 of us watched the footage on my phone of him entering my side of the apartment, he had this look of fear and remorse. That's when he claimed he has a sleepwalking problem that's gotten worse recently.
Shut your
He's
ass
on a
up.
bunch of medications. The police asked me if I wanted to press charges.
Yup.
I looked at Jose and said no. However,
This
as
bitch.
soon as the police left, I barricaded that door with my dresser and started looking for new apartments. I haven't seen Jose since, and I'm not staying here much longer. I don't think I believe his sleepwalking story. It truly seemed he was trying to hurt me that night.
Use your brain, please.
Quarantining and social distancing has had my friends and I going crazy. So to spice things up, we wanted to explore the abandoned farmhouse down the road. It was my friends Luke, Kyle, and I. Luke drove us. It was only a 10-minute drive. We pulled up this hilly road onto this enclosed property where this once-occupied farm sits. Most people in the area have passed by this place at least once and are aware of its abandonment. Breaking in was easy. We just broke a window on the ground level and hopped in through there. The place was so old we saw dust particles floating everywhere in the light beams from our flashlights. The most noteworthy things we noticed were the lack of furniture and extremely creaky floors. Even though the place was known to be abandoned, we still expected at least some things left behind. However, it seemed people had already looted the place out. The three of us branched off a bit to different sections of the house to explore, and within a minute, Kyle came tiptoeing back to us and whispered that he heard someone or something in another room. I whispered where, and he pointed. He refused to go over there, while Luke and I just quietly laughed, thinking he was either being a pussy or trying to freak us out. Not gonna lie, given the setting, that dark, quiet old farmhouse surrounded by woods in the dead of night, his claims did give me goosebumps. Luke and I still proceeded quietly to the room that he was pointing at. It was impossible not to make at least a little creaking on those terrible rotting wood floorboards. Then we discovered that the little room contained a two-way staircase, one going upstairs, another going to the basement. But when I approached the basement staircase, my goosebumps came back, and I realized most, if not all, of the stairs had collapsed, and at this point, it was more so just a hole in the floor. Luke dared me to look down into the basement. I was going to, and I for sure heard a noise come from down there. It was this creaking sound that would repeat every couple seconds. I turned to Luke and whispered, "Do you hear that?" He nodded his head and whispered back to go look down there.
Fuck you.
I took a deep breath and said, "To hell with it. I'll do it."
Dumbass.
I crept to the disturbing-looking hole in the floor and shined my flashlight into the darkness below. At first I didn't see anything except a concrete floor in the basement and small piles of rotted wood. But then I got on my knees to get a deeper look in the basement. And that's when we heard...
Hello?
My hand just jerked to the right where I heard the voice, and I saw an old woman with long gray hair in a rocking chair. She was looking at me with this lifeless smile. It had this hint of malice to it. I fell backwards and dropped my flashlight. I yelled at the top of my lungs to run to my friends. Kyle already left the house and was waiting in the car.
Damn.
Luke and I then got to the car, and I was yelling at him the whole time to hurry up.
They ain't your real friends.
Once we exited the property, I felt a lot better. Luke heard the voice too. He didn't see what I saw, though. It was bizarre. It was surreal. It was terrifying. It didn't make sense. Why was she down there? How did she get down there when all the stairs had collapsed? What else was down there? All these unanswered questions are made creepier when you remember that farm has been abandoned for years.
And this, folks, is why you mind your goddamn business. Thank y'all for watching this video. Greatly appreciate it. Thank y'all for 11,000 subscribers. God damn. I hope to see y'all in the next one. Thank y'all again for the merch. Thank y'all for buying it up. Love y'all, man. But I'm going to see y'all in the next video. I'm out of here. Peace.